Hi people, it's me again, of course, as always, and as usual, Moino Ravenbird. Yeah, I'm gonna cover another spirit from the Arbatel Grimoire today, which is Phul. That's how I'll be pronouncing his name, Phul. Phul, spelled and pronounced, either Phul or Phil. In any case, I'm gonna stick with the former, Phul. Now, I recite, Phul had this character, as you can tell based on the thumbnail of this video. That's his seal. He changed all metals into silver in word and deed, governed lunary things, healed the dropsy, he giveth spirits of the water who do serve men in a corporeal and visible form, and make it men to live 300 years. Now, let's dive right in, as is usually the case. Phul is indeed lunar, but something interesting that I noticed when confirming his attributes. So he is indeed lunar. There's not a lot to say. He covered, just like the description says, he covered lunary things. So all things relating onto the moon, honestly, all lunar affairs. Again, look up lunar affairs if you want to know exactly what the moon deals with on my website or otherwise. Things such as food, real estate, also money, but not as a specialty, up to a moderate / considerable extent, depending on the operator's conditions and or circumstances, or whomever on whose behalf he or she is working with Phul for. You can also say pool, it's up to you. I'm just saying Phul. PH is F, spelling wise. Now, something interesting I noted. When I confirmed his planetary and zodiacal attributes, I noticed that he differs from the other spirits mentioned in the Arbatel. He differs from the other Olympian or Olympic spirits. And after checking the Arbatel Grimoire, I noticed that both Phul and Falech do not have any familiar spirits ascribed to them. All the others, for example, have a description along the lines of his spirits are something like 12,000, 200, 3,000, 5,000 legions, or 5,000 familiars, and so on and so forth. He giveth good familiars, you know the drill if you're a practitioner. But with Phul and with Falech, that is not the case. Now, I've also covered Falech back in the day in 2018. It was a long time ago, lifetimes ago for me. And Falech was also lunar, just like Phul. But still, Phul is different, okay, in the sense that, compared to all the others, including Falech, in the sense that he is not a spirit that conventionally has familiars underneath him. He himself, within given context, is familiar. He is a familiar. The reason he was added to the list of entities as an Olympian spirit in this grimoire is because of his potency, like super potent lunar spirit. Of course, that's not meant offensively or in any way disrespectfully meant towards Phul. I'm simply saying that he's different, and I noticed it right away. I was like, interesting, okay. He's not so much like an authoritarian figure, like a spirit that has thousands of subservient spirits, legions of subservient spirits underneath him or beneath him, so to speak, or that serve him. Now, he is, in a manner of speaking, himself a servant, or better put, more freelance, as in, it's just like a freelancer, honestly. He's not a spirit that has, in a classical, conventional way, rulership over other spirits. Now, he does have familiars, and he can help you out with subservient spirits, but I'm just saying, compared to the other spirits, he doesn't fall within that moniker or idiom, I want to say. He doesn't fall within those classical metaphorical guidelines. Now let me go over the description. He changed all metals into silver in word and deed. Of course, that's not meant literally. It's a metaphor, because the moon has as corresponding metal silver. So he can help you out with all things relating unto that, as in if you're looking for silver, how to obtain silver, and so on and so forth, I also need to note that there is also a mercurial affinity to him, but purely in an indirect hypothetical context, not literally. Repeat. Hypothetical, not literally. Unsurprisingly, that's why today is Wednesday, and we're currently, for me, it's the hour of the moon, planetary wise. So all of it is not a coincidence. Not that anything ever is, but in a manner of speaking. Governed lunary things, yeah, obviously. Healed the dropsy. Now, for people that were wondering what healed the dropsy means, healed the dropsy is an old English phrase that is used for the modern day phrase edema, edema. It's a medical condition. Let me just briefly read it from Wikipedia. Edema, also spelled oedema and also known as fluid retention, dropsy or hydropsy, is the buildup of fluid in the body's tissue, a type of swelling. Most commonly, the legs or arms are affected. Symptoms may include skin that feels tight, the area feeling heavy, and joint stiffness. And that's it. That's what dropsy means. It's simply an old English medieval phrase for edema. So it's just a medical condition, affliction. Okay, swelling of the limbs and tissue due to fluid buildup. So you can see the association. Now, regarding him being able to do this, because of the association with the moon and the moon rules water as an element, that's where this comes from as a specialty. But I can already tell you, I'm easily sensing it, that on a scale of 0 to 10, his capability for helping you out with this is a 5. At absolute best, at absolute least a 4. So think between a 4, a 5, and between a 4 and a 6. Just on average a 5. Don't expect him to do wonders if you do suffer from the aforementioned edema, aka dropsy. He giveth spirits of the water who do serve men in a corporeal and visible form. The visible form obviously is not meant to be taken literally. What is simply meant is that he'll provide you with familiars that belong or align with the element water, and those that will serve you in a manner that makes it so that they will be visible to you. Obviously, if you're a practitioner, so just as the average spirit, but not meant that they're going to manifest materially, not in a direct sense in any case. Yeah, obviously you'll see material results, and I mean, provided that's what you want, obviously. In general, just overall, you'll see material results. For example, you want... I can't come up with a good example. I really can't come up with an example, but all I'm saying is that don't expect to actually physically see like a physical golem or some kind of homunculus, tiny looking creature that seems like he's made out of water. No, obviously not. You're not going to be seeing them physically. It simply means in a corporeal and visible form, as in visible to you as a practitioner, receptive to your senses, receptive to the senses. And make it meant to live 300 years. Yeah, that's just a given, you know. It's not, that's neither here nor there, honestly. It's just a miscellaneous phrase uttered within this given context, but that doesn't obviously mean that you're going to live 300 years. No, it's a metaphor for improving one's quality of life. But again, he's anything but the only spirit that has that in his description. Phul, him or her. Now, that's pretty much it. Before I close off, I'm going to say as well, regarding appearance as well as voice intonation or tone of voice, Phul appears as a transparent water-based being. So think of a humanoid figure, just think of the silhouette of a human being filled with nothing but water. It's like, think of a drinking glass, but like a Coke bottle, like the old school Coke bottles made out of glass, but instead of that, it's a human being, and with no distinguishable facial features or anything like that, like in a silhouette-like manner and or fashion, but it's filled with water. And Phul is quite mobile, as in he can move around a lot, like easily, just similar to water, the same way that you see, for example, you go to a beach and you see water hitting rocks and like waves of water hitting rocks and or boulders. That's how Phul moves or can move. He can't stay still, but while I was interacting with him, I noticed that he was like up and down like this and that on occasion, which I don't mind. I don't care, you know. Yeah, I can just let him be himself. And his appearance intermittently, not in a bad way, not in an unstable way, just contextually intermittently, changes from male to female. So male silhouette and then female silhouette, and just goes on, indicating that Phul is hypothetically gender fluid, hypothetically. Of course, again, the fact that the moon also has association with women, obviously, close association at that, also contributes to that. So, especially, for example, women will have a tendency to get better results and just overall get along better in general with Phul. Not necessarily, but just in general, compared to men, but only up to a minor extent, depending on the practitioner's skill and strength and whatnot. Again, it's just meant contextually. And the voices, Phul's voice is both a man and a woman's voice. It's like, imagine a man and a woman speaking either turn for turn, as if they were like finishing each other's sentences, or they were both telling a story and they made a crystal clear agreement or rehearsal that, hey, I'm going to say the first paragraph and then you immediately, the second I'm done talking, say the second paragraph, and they just go up and down like that. And let me see what else. And yeah, no, that's it. Just like a man and a woman's voice, and sometimes they speak simultaneously, but it's more the former than the latter regarding verbal expression. And that is all. Bye bye.